I was first introduced to the concept of the conversation station at the end of last year. I did quite a bit of background reading on the conversation station, and I learnt how valuable a tool it is to develop the children's oral language and to develop and extend their vocabulary. We picked a designated area in the classroom with a table and 2 or 3 chairs with the rules of the conversation station. So we listen to the person when they're speaking to us, and we look at the person when they're speaking to us. And I have visual props to help them to remember this of eyes and ears. They really respond well to the visual cues, and it helps to remind them, because they find keeping eye contact, they find that very difficult. And again, active listening to what I'm asking them. There's 2 adults needed to engage in this process. The learning support teachers come into our class to engage in team teaching every day. So for the first 5 or 10 minutes of their session with us, they take the class, and I bring my junior infant children down to the conversation station, 1 at a time or 2 at a time. Welcome to the conversation station. Now we're at the conversation station. What do we have off the conversation station? What do we do?
We talk together.
Very good. And when we talk together, we have some rules, don't we? What's the first rule of the conversation station?
We look at the person we're talking to.
Very good. So I'm going to hold this, okay? And this is going to remind you. What's it going to remind you
To look at you.
To look at me when you're to speak. What are we talking about?
Food.
We're talking about food. Very good. And did you bring any food into school today? What did you bring in?
I brought cheese sandwiches.
Do you want to get your lunchbox and show me? So you have cheddar cheese in your sandwich today. Very good. So you have butter in your sandwich. What else do you have? I have cheddar cheese. Very good. And what's the bread like?
It's like crumbs.
Very good. It's crumbly. What colour is it?
Light brown.
Light brown. Very good. So you have a brown bread cheese sandwich for your lunch today. Thank you. Very good. Now what does it taste like? Do you want to taste a bit of it? What does that taste like?
Kind of tastes crumbly.
Okay, you can leave those down there. Thank you very much for coming down to the conversation station. Now, do you want to put your name on the blue card, because you visited the conversation station today? Good girl. Back you go. It's so important, I find it's so important that the conversations are very meaningful to the children, and that the topics are ones which the children can relate to. And through this process, I really have found how well the children's language has been developed and extended.
Set up this conversation station with this junior infant class back in September, so I've been doing it since then. I have 31 children in my class, so I would have started with a topic, and then I moved on to give the children a chance to come down and speak about what they wanted to speak about. Now, the more confident children were well able for this, but again, the child that would be a bit more reserved and shy needed a lot of help and a lot more practice. Again, the props like the telephone and little things like that did help to bring them out of themselves. I would always try to elaborate on their responses as a way of extending their vocabulary and just reminding them of vocabulary that they might already have and getting them to use it in a more natural way again. When it came to the parent-teacher meetings, again, I must say it gave me a real confidence in that I knew my children, I knew where they were as regards oral language, and it's not something I would ever have been confident speaking about during a parent-teacher meeting, and again, that was really important to me. I did find the conversation station a very useful intervention in my classroom. It helped me to see where each child was in terms of their oral language, and it informed my practice as a teacher, and it was really enjoyable and easy to implement also.